Hello, everybody. Superior Stacker here today, guys. Here I have one of my new additions, actually a very special coin to me, and you guys will hear why very shortly. But first of all, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of the new record set by gold. It hit $2,942 an ounce. And honestly, I believe it's going to continue to climb. Definitely a lot of factors, those tariffs by Donald Trump and central banks continuing to buy. And honestly, let's be honest, the world is not it's not doing that well. It's in such a huge debt. There's so much debt around the world, not just in the United States, but all over. So, of course, they're going to run to something that's always been, a wealth preservation, such as gold and even silver. For the millennia, this has been real money. You can't print it. You can't, of course, you get falsificated, but it's not the real thing. If you're getting gold, you're getting the real thing. Same thing with silver. It's something that will hold its value, and central banks, they're not dumb. They're continuing to add. According to the World Council in 2024, November, 53 tons were bought by central banks, the biggest being the National Bank of Poland, which it added 21 tons of gold, and it brought its total reserves to 448 tons, which is a lot of gold, but still nowhere in the ballpark compared to the United States, Germany, even China, Russia. Those countries have a lot. And I'm pretty sure you have also have heard of Elon Musk wanting to audit the gold reserves of the United States at Fort Knox. That would be such a big deal, especially if they do it. And honestly, if the gold ain't all there, they that would cause a very big ripple effect, which honestly, that would be scary. It would be very bad for the United States. It would be very bad for our dollar, which that's why we stack. We're preparing for whatever case scenario might come our way. And that's why we buy precious metals. And also we love it too, and many other factors, but definitely it's a store of wealth. And it's something that's just beautiful and honestly awesome to hold and obtain. And we are our own banks, guys. That's something that nobody can really take away from us. Of course, unless there was um, like in the 1930s, I believe, or 40s, whenever there was a confiscation of gold in the United States, there was, of course, some regulations and rules that you could get around it to a certain degree, but it was not good for the American people at that time. So, like I said, central banks continue to buy, and if they're doing it, then obviously we're on the right track ourselves. Of course, we don't purchase as much as they can. Of course, we don't have that kind of money, but hey, nothing wrong with continuing to add the way we can. And again, guys, like I always say, don't affect yourselves. Like whenever I do add a little bit here and there, I always make sure that business is taken care of. Utility bills, groceries, any kind of debt that you might have, it's taken care of. This week we're good. All right, I have a little bit of extra. I will go and purchase some precious metals. That's what you guys must always do. Never get yourself in trouble purchasing precious metals and leaving the other stuff that you have to take care of behind. That's not a good thing, because guess what? You're going to turn around and that nice fractional gold that you just got that you admire, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, I'm going to have to sell it, take a loss to pay some of that debt that I should have taken care of in the first place. So never put yourself in that situation, guys. And I was going to also say fractional gold is one of my favorites for the fact of, yes, you do pay a higher premium if you were going to get an ounce in either 1/10, which I have some here as well, a few others. Fractional gold, you're going to pay a higher premium. If you're going to have a full ounce in fractional gold, in the long run, you are paying a lot more. But I also believe that there's great benefits to having fractional gold. For example, it's easier to liquidate, barter. You can break an ounce of gold. Well, I guess you could, but it would damage some of that value of the coin and the integrity. But they would do it in ancient times, especially with silver, if you're trying to make change. But nothing beats, hey, if I have 1/10 of an ounce of gold, I could sell a few if I needed a few little extra money, or barter. So with that being said, that's one of the many reasons I like fractional gold. Plus, it's easier to obtain. It's easier to pay $300 and some dollars for a 1/10 of an ounce than it is $3,000 pretty much for a 1 ounce of gold. So, like I've said, I believe it still has a good way to go on gold and silver. Let's not get too far away from silver. These are some of my latest additions that I got when I went to the coin store. Silver definitely has a good way to go. In the 80s, it hit close to $50 an ounce. In 2011, it hit close to $50 an ounce, but it's definitely lacking. And if you remember, in 2011, gold hit above the 2,000 an ounce, and there was an all-new time record for it. So if you were to bring that factor into percentage-wise, and there's a formula, but all I'm trying to say is, if you compare the price of gold at that time and the price of silver, honestly, silver should be easily over $100 an ounce. But of course, it would be a bittersweet. At that point, most of us would only be adding an ounce a month or every 2 weeks, unless we did a big purchase. But then we would be remembering the days when we could get, well, I remember when you could get 5 sovereign mint nation silver ounces easily with $100 bill, and even have a little bit left over. I'm sure some of you even remember better times out there. So if you think about it, it is bittersweet, but at the same time, us stackers wish that silver would keep up with the percentages and the high, how high gold has gotten. Silver is definitely lacking, but I'm definitely continuing to buy. So, oh, and about these coins, guys, right here. These right here were bought by my wife on Valentine's Day, so that makes it extra special. Just look at that background right there, that like square, squiggly, I don't know what you would call it, but that definitely from like ancient Greek, Roman times. I believe it's more Greek, but that eagle is definitely from ancient times. It's a beautiful, beautiful eagle, and definitely a beautiful coin. I guess that would be a sign, whatever that is. It's definitely commemorating something that was in ancient times, but man, beautiful coin. This is from St. Helena. I'm definitely going to put it in a nice protector sleeve or something. It's very special since my wife got it for me on Valentine's Day. And she also got me this 1/2 ounce Canadian silver coin, which Canada makes some very beautiful coins. My respects to them in their coin making, and they're very recognizable, very highly collected and highly respected. Very nice mint for sure. That was definitely another one that I got for Valentine's Day. So those are very special to me. I'm sure you all have a coin that's special to you or has a very special significance. Well, guys, hopefully you guys get some good deals. Talking about good deals, the other day I was at Costco before we end this video, and they had a 1 ounce Pamp Susie gold bar, and it was under spot price. I was very tempted to go back home, get money, and come back, but then I didn't know if they were going to be like, no, we refuse to sell that. We're losing money, because it was like $30 under spot. So can you imagine buying an ounce of gold and paying under spot? That would have been amazing. But either way, I always say, get those good deals. Yeah, but that was an expensive one, of course. I remember when I first bought my first ounce of gold, $1,400. Those were the days. Oh, yeah, they were good times. Well, guys, please leave your comments and thoughts. Hopefully you're all doing very well, and take care, and I will see you on the next one. Happy stacking.